Hare Ram Ram. 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpatarubhascha, Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai, Shripad ki jai. I'm really sorry for stopping the wonderful chanting. It was so nice to have Mataji's and Prabhuji's chant in the morning here. And before we start the class, I would just quickly share a quote. I was finding one, it suddenly came on the Facebook. Today's quote by Srila Prabhupada. Ignorance is the cause for all these anomalies in human society. And to remove this ignorance, especially in this age of degradation, the powerful sun is there to distribute light in the shape of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.14.3. I can repeat. Ignorance is the cause of all these anomalies in human society. And to remove this ignorance, especially in this age of degradation, the powerful sun is there to distribute light in the shape of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.14.13. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya ISKCON, and this is from, I don't know, it's one of the quotes. Okay, so may I know who are on the call today?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, this is Surinder Bhandari from Maryland.
Hare Krishna, Sundar Prabhuji, Matarat Pranam to you, Shripad ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining every day regularly and chanting also. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Geeta from Maryland, and welcome Savita Mataji and Hare Krishna to all the devotees on this call.
Hare Krishna, Geeta Mataji, Matarat Pranam to you, Shripad ki jai. I was just going to say that. And Matarat Pranam to you, Shripad ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, and welcome back Mataji and Prabhuji on a conference call. So we missed you all and we look forward to having your association.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji and all the devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shamarasika Devidasi from Washington DC, Maryland, Germantown, Maryland. And yeah, I miss you all too. And it was so busy that I couldn't join every day. But yeah, but now I will join every day. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
And we must add that Rupini Mataji, was very, very diligent and conscientious about the calls. And, it was really, she kept it going beautifully. Thank you.
Yeah,
it's all Mataji and Prabhuji. Otherwise, there's nothing here. I'm pretty nothing here, Mataji. Yeah. So we get inspired. That's why association of devotees is important. We get energy from each other.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much for taking care of call.
Yes, and we can chant Hari Bol 3 times for Mataji for joining back. We're happy. Hari Bol.
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 Vacuum and now it's filled up because they are there.
Yes.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Nikunjara Sadas from Germantown, Maryland. And thank you for welcoming so nicely. And also Mataji continuing the recording service so well without any interruption. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And actually, I always desire, in my learning, in my process, that every services, there should be 2 people doing it. Because you never know, one person has to go, Krishna makes some arrangement and the other person is there. So I was really happy that somehow on the last day, Manidhar Prabhu, thank you to Manidhar Prabhu. He's
yes,
not,
Mataji.
but wherever he is, my all my, this thing like blessings to him. I would say I'm no one to give blessings, because last day he taught me, and then somehow it clicked. He taught me and my husband, and together, because I'm not technology so much, savvy. So then, it happened, Prabhuji. So we're already recording now. But yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much for giving the service, and I'm sure I'm getting blessings from you and Mataji for continuing this. And but we would love that others would join in for greeting, for recording, and other things. More people can volunteer. It'll be so nice. So it's for our own benefit only. Thank you so much.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Rupini Padma Mataji, you are going from tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow evening is my flight.
Yes. So,
And Mataji, I arranged in such a way that, I made sure I told my family that I will go after Mataji comes,
that's so nice, Mataji.
Yeah. Try to join from there also, that whatever time is there, 4:50, like that.
Yeah.
Won't keep our Prabhuji. Today's actually class was Anupam Shivas Prabhuji, but he generally books, but then he gets busy, and he's very kind to share speakers. So I think Gokul Prabhuji is on the call, and I think greeted everyone. Recording is already on. So today, very fortunate to have.
Yes, after a long time, we are going to hear you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Gokul Prabhuji. And today's, Prabhuji, I'll quickly announce the verse. Today's verse for today is, we are continuing with, of course, Damodar Leela comes to a halt now. But, and we so nicely heard about Damodar Katha, but today we'll again continue Nityan Bhagavata Sevaya, Srimad Bhagavatam 7, 9, 21 and onwards. So Prabhuji, please take over. I'm really sorry for the delay of 7 minutes. But, we had to go through the whole process. Some devotees joined back from India, Vrindavan. So we were really happy and joyous to greet them back. So thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, Haribol. Good to hear from all you dear devotees. You're all doing so much this is extremely pleasing to Srila Prabhupada when devotees try hard to maintain their hearing, chanting, and association. This is really, really pleasing to him. You're all doing a better job at that than I am, that's for sure. So what I'll do is just what I usually do. I'm dyslexic, so I have, reading aloud is not an easy thing for me. So I'll just read the verse slowly, because it's still purifying to hear the Sanskrit. Then I'll just go straight to the translation and then the purport. Okay. Here I go. Maya Manaha Srijati Karmamayam Balyaha Kalyena Kodita Gunam, let's see, Gunam Gunanumatena Pumshaha Chandomayam Yad Ajayarpita Sodasaram Sangsara Chakram Aja Ko Titarit Tvad Anyaha. It may be noticed that I have a bit of a cold, so yeah, that's no problem now. Okay, so now to the translation. Now I didn't get a chance to look at this, but I'm pretty sure this is Prahlad talking to Lord Nrsimha. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, translation. O Lord, O Supreme Eternal, by expanding your plenary portion, you have created the subtle bodies of the living entities through the agency of your external energy, which is agitated by time. Thus, the mind entraps the living entity in unlimited varieties of desires to be fulfilled by the Vedic directions of karma kanda, fruitive activity, and the 16 elements. Who can get free from this entanglement unless he takes shelter at your lotus feet? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. If the hand of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is present in everything, where is the question of being liberated from material entanglement, engagement, to spiritual blissful life? Indeed, it is a fact that Krishna is the source of everything. As we understand from Krishna himself, Bhagavad Gita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava. All activities in both the spiritual and material worlds are certainly conducted by the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the agency of either the material or spiritual nature. As further confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9.10, Maya Yakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacharam. Without the direction of the Supreme Lord, material nature cannot do anything. It cannot act independently. Therefore, in the beginning, the living entity wanted to enjoy the material energy and to give the living entity all facility. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, created this material world and gave the living entity facility to concoct different ideas and plans through the mind. These facilities offered by the Lord to the living entity constitute the 16 kinds of perverted support in terms of knowledge-gathering senses, the working senses, the mind, and the 5 material elements. The wheel of repeated birth and death is created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but to direct the bewildered living entity in progress towards the liberation, according to varied stages of advancement, different directions are given in the Vedas. Chandomayam. If one wants to be elevated to the higher planetary systems, he may follow Vedic directions, as the Lord states in Bhagavad Gita. Yanti Deva Vrata Devan Pritrin Yanti Pitrer Vrata Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja Yanti Mad Yadinopinam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors, and those who worship me will live with me. With Krishna, I'm going to interject. With Krishna talking, not Lord Chaitanya, it's most likely that a person would be going to Vaikuntha, not necessarily to Goloka. You have to have Krishna prema to get to Goloka, but that's not hard to do. That there might be time for that comment. That's very easy to be achieved on the basis of Prabhupada's promises to us all. Okay. Prabhupada continues. The real purpose of the Vedas is to direct one back home, back to Godhead, but the living entity, not knowing the real goal of life, wants to go sometimes here, sometimes there, and do sometimes this and sometimes that. In this way, he wanders throughout the entire universe, imprisoned in various species, and thus engaging in various activities for which he must suffer the reactions. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore says, Brahmanda Brahmate Kona Bhagavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bij. The fallen conditioned living entity, trapped by the external energy, loiters in the material world, but if by good fortune he meets a bona fide representative of the Lord who gives him the seed of devotional service, and if he takes advantage of such a guru or representative of God, he receives the Bhakti Lata Bij, the seed of devotional service. If he properly cultivates Krishna consciousness, he is then gradually elevated to the spiritual world. The ultimate conclusion is that one must surrender to the principles of Bhakti Yoga, for then one will gradually attain liberation. No other method of liberation from the material struggle is at all possible. Earlier on in the purport, Prabhupada said the mind entraps the soul into the body. The mind is, he's talking about the mental energy that covers us all. We're sharing and wallowing in that energy. And the body is actually a product of the mind. In fact, one big time psychologist recently said that the body is actually a visual representation of the subconscious mind. But that person didn't know about also karma and astrology as it reads out in our astrology. The body is a temporary representation, you could say, of the subconscious mind, of the unconquered mind by the conditioned soul, unconquered, in other words, one who's subject to the mental energy of Krishna. And that includes one's past lives and what they deserve to have in this life, good and bad. It's a mixture. Let's see. Recently, I don't remember. I'm looking for the verse, but recently I read that Prabhupada said that one who chants the holy name of the Lord even once sincerely is eternally benefited and will never again become an animal or go to hell. But he will also never go to heaven. Krishna, for instance, when we come to Krishna consciousness, we think we experience ourselves dealing with our karma as we try to clean our heart, but Krishna gave us this karma. He when we're paying for when we're in Yamaraja's court, he lets us up to the heavenly planets, or he puts us in his hell for thousands of years based on our karma. But when you come out of hell or heaven, thousands of years later, you don't have Krishna prema. You don't have, it didn't do anything for you, you just start over again. And according to your previous inclinations, in fact, you work your way up through the animal species, etc., after having been in hell. But that doesn't do much for your love of God. Krishna takes a devotee who's tired of it all and gives him a separate set of experiences that we also experience as karma, but it's only within a few lifetimes at most that we need to deal with these issues. And it's what Krishna sees that has to be dealt with in our hearts. So even your astrology will read out according to this. It will give you a readout of why it will make sense why you were born in the place and time that you were, according to Krishna's choices for you, not according to Dharmaraj or anyone else, the demigods. So once having chanted Krishna's holy name once, even if just in fear, you're on that level. You're suddenly you're in Krishna's boat, not in Yamaraj's court. You're in Krishna's court, and this is eternal. And then it's just a matter of maturing in your devotional service. Now, when you get old like me, I'm not sure if I have many years left. I have no specific reason to say this many or that many, but I don't think it's much. And I'm not enjoying being an old man anyway, except that even though my determination has not improved, it didn't stop. That's the key point. The key point is when you're trying to do a devotional service and you're having a difficult time, like you need to get something done materially before you can, chant your 16 rounds for the day, etc. Do something devotional. But if you're a devotee, active in devotional service, like you're doing something for the deities or something, whatever it is, and you're missing out on your sadhana, and it looks like Krishna just piled on that work for you, and everybody's depending on you to do it, and you're never getting to your sadhana. There's a devotee in that situation must not stop trying to get to the sadhana, even if it looks impossible, the 16 rounds, for instance, even if it looks impossible. even if you know you're losing the fight. You can't stop fighting sincerely. As long as you don't stop fighting sincerely to get your duty done, Krishna, you're actually winning. You're not losing. It's the fight that Krishna wants to see. You deal with the obstacles. If you give up and you say, well, I guess I'm not supposed to chant Hare Krishna. I'm always being called to do this other service. Krishna will take the service away, he'll mellow things out, but eventually you're going to have to come back to that wall that you have to walk through, that really impossible deed. Eventually you'll have to do it. And, to face that show that determination. Now, when you get old like me, I'm still useless in terms of determination, but he's actually cornering me and so that I can climb this wall of impossible obstacles to my devotional service. And I just keep remembering this verse in the Bhagavad Gita: fight for the sake of fighting without considering happiness or loss, victory or defeat. And by so doing, you shall never incur sin. Well, that applies to that's for Arjuna in his Kshatriya duties. But for the devotee, Krishna lets up when you get old, and it's just like you're in the Dham, the holy Dham. Everything speeds up, and so he's cornered me, and I can't give up, and I know, and he tells you in your heart why you can't give up. One way to know that it's Krishna talking to you is because it's like when people train you in meditation or in channeling spirits or something. They tell you that you'll have a train of thought in your thinking, and then you may have another thought just bounce into your head, and it's not really related. It's related to what you were thinking, but it's not what you wanted to think. It's it's a new thought. It's an impression. One way you can tell that it's Super Soul Krishna talking to you is that and generally a person will say, oh, that doesn't, that's not relevant, or they'll feel uncomfortable with it, or they'll write it down, and then it'll be a part of their channeling, if they're channeling some spirits or something like they used to do back in the hippie days. But if they want to put it aside and say, nah, that's not going to work, that's probably Krishna asking you to surrender. That's how you can know that that voice you hear in your heart, not in your head, but in your heart, that's Krishna talking to you, if it involves surrender. So getting back to not stopping your efforts, it could be that Krishna wants you to do that service to show you determination to do the other service you have to do first before he'll let you do it. He wants to see your fight. Now, whether you're devotee or karmi, if you're in the material, if you have a material thing that you have to do, and you've say making a deal on real estate or selling real estate or something, whatever you do as a devotee or a non-devotee. Excuse me, I'm going to take a little water here. If you are having trouble, if for some reason you keep failing, especially 3 times, people generally keep working at it, like building a bridge. A big bridge was built in San Francisco at the wrong time, apparently, and it's having trouble to this day. When you're having trouble in a material activity or materially based activity, stop it immediately. Don't continue it. That's not something you fight for. That's something you immediately stop. And what you do is do the opposite of that. The opposite of a material successful activity is an internal activity. You'll have good luck at teaching yourself meditation, teaching others, and of course, bhakti yoga, in getting to your sadhana that you if you were trying to get to your sadhana and couldn't. So material activities should be stopped immediately if you're finding continuous obstruction, and spiritual activities should be continued at all costs, showing determination. And let me see, my phone went, okay. I gotta wake my phone up. Okay. Now, so there's a difference in your exercise of judgment as to whether you should in other words, let's say Mercury goes retrograde. A lot of people know that when Mercury goes retrograde, don't sign contracts, don't make agreements with anybody for 3 months, whatever it is, and just twiddle your thumbs. Just do something else. Don't do anything serious. Actually, that's a great time for spiritual advancement or looking within yourself, for practicing your yoga. Let's say you do yoga business as a yoga teacher, and you're going to be getting a new ashram, but you're not having luck signing the deal on the ashram and training people in yoga. Stop that immediately and just do the yoga yourself and improve your own yoga. Then you'll have good luck at it. But if it's devotional service and you can tell, generally Krishna lets you know, yes, I put that obstacle in your way, and you don't want to think about it, but actually there's a good reason for it. You may get irritated with Krishna saying, Krishna, how am I supposed to chant my rounds? I keep having this material, I keep having to, I keep having to glue this material body together. It's getting old. I have to spend so much time gluing this material body together. Is this my service? I understand that it's Prabhupada's property, not mine, my body. But he wants to see my determination to still chant my rounds. And so that I cannot stop trying to do. And as long as I fight and don't give up, he'll knock the wall down for you. And you can never know just how you can never know just how Krishna suddenly saves the situation for you once he's satisfied with your determination. Like for instance, you may be dealing with a real estate problem and you're waiting and waiting and waiting. And all you can think about is I'll be okay. I can surrender more to Krishna as soon as this deal goes through. It'll never go through. Maya's got you. Maya's got you. You're in her pocket now. But as soon as you go ahead and surrender to Krishna and become detached and think, well, that's Krishna's property anyway. I just want to use it in his service. Kabam, the deal goes through. In other words, it may not, or something else happens. Somebody buys somebody buys it from you, and you don't have to worry about it anymore, or some other thing. A government decision was made that suddenly makes everything work for you, and you can never guess how Krishna makes it suddenly work for you. You'll never be able to guess it. So that's a distinction that devotees are often. It's whenever things are going well for you, Maya is also there, standing right behind Krishna, looking around at you from behind Krishna and saying, Krishna's giving you something that makes you feel good, makes things work. Yeah, I'm being happy being a devotee. And then Maya throws in this other little thing here. And she throws it out there in front of you, and you grab that too, thinking, yeah, Krishna just gave me this little privilege here. And then see, Maya's just doing what Krishna wants, So you continue your purification, getting kicked for taking for getting any kind of attachment. I'm going to check my notes here. And there are so many devotees that think that it's pie in the sky. Like Prabhupada says, the devotee doesn't have to worry about birth and death anymore, like one who's chanted once sincerely in his entire life. He doesn't actually have to worry about death anymore. He's already immortal. He doesn't know it. But devotees don't know it. But when you get old, well, this is a new perspective for me, this business of being old. Actually, it's not real new. But anyway, when you get old, Krishna sees that, he sees I'm not any more determined than I ever was, but he makes things more clear. And let's see. One thing is, Prabhupada is right when he says Krishna eliminates birth and death for the soul eternally. You're already there. Well, and somebody may say, well, you still got to die. But one unique experience the devotee available to the devotee, even when they're young, if they work at it, is you're already experiencing your immortality your immortality every time you have a bhava experience, an experience of devotional happiness. If you think about that, right when you're having it, you're already experiencing your next life. You already know, you already see, you're already experiencing your next life before you've even left this body. So that's what Prabhupada means when he saves you from death. This process saves you from death. You so many times things will happen for you as a devotee who's trying to do everything that he's supposed to do sincerely, that you're actually you don't have to wait until you die and then see Krishna. You'll see him before that, or you'll feel him before that. You're already experiencing your next life. And all devotees have this available to them. They don't have to wait and get old like a lazy person like me. Or you can get to the Dham, one of the holy Dhams, Vrindavan, Mayapur, Puri, and everything speeds up that way too. But when you get old, things kind of speed up. So let's see. Okay, are there any questions? Because I've run out of my points that I was going to make. This is all a surprise to me tonight. Go ahead and think of any questions you can. I'm going to look back through my notes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is Geeta. Thank you very much for your very, very, illuminating class. I just have asked this question earlier, but I haven't got clear, or maybe it's not clear in my mind, the difference between in our actions, how we can reach Vaikuntha versus Goloka.
Oh, well, Goloka, no, yeah, Vaikuntha is something that Krishna sent people to, even demons, because of his mercy. Krishna, he handed out liberation like somebody handing out Kleenex, at a wedding or in a hospital or something. Liberation was easy. All I have to do is just know, according to Bhagavad Gita 4:9, chapter 4, text 9, Krishna says, anybody who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take birth again in this material world, O son of Kunti, talking to Arjuna, but he comes to my supreme abode. Well, he's probably talking about Vaikuntha because you didn't have Krishna Prema. Vaikuntha is all about on veneration. That's God at the office. Vaikuntha planets, that's God at the office. Yes, everybody's worshiping me, and it's blessings every day. Nobody dies here. There's Vaikuntha means no anxiety. Krishna doesn't hand out liberation. He hands out liberation like it's Kleenex at a wedding, like I was saying, but he doesn't hand out Krishna Prema. Lord Gauranga hands out the Krishna Prema. He just, even his associates, just looking at you when in ecstasy, would suddenly you would be experiencing Krishna Prema, love of God. And now there's a trick that there's an equivalent verse by an associate of Lord Chaitanya, Narottam Das Thakur, in the song Gauranga Duti Pada, and it's on the website of ISKCON Desire Tree, Gaudiya Vaishnava History, under the section called Who's Who, within the first couple of paragraphs. And Prabhupada, and they've taken a purport from Prabhupada, from Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Prabhupada chimes in. Prabhupada supports what he says there. He says, Narottam Das Thakur says, anybody who knows that Lord Chaitanya's associates, his close associates, are eternally liberated. They were not forced to come to this world because of karma or material desires. Anybody who understands that goes to Goloka Vrindavan. They don't go to the world of Aishwarya, opulence and worship and blessings every day and bowl of peaches and just worship Lord Narayan and look like Lord Narayan or receive his blessings every day. It's go to Krishna Loka, Goloka. if you know about Lord Gauranga's associates being Nitya Siddha. Straight there. Then Prabhupada says, this right below that, Prabhupada says that this happens immediately. Immediately, you go straight there. You don't go to like pious people, super pious people or demigods. When they're going to go eventually to Krishna Loka and not Vaikuntha, they may have done something to deserve to become a cowherd boy or a cowherd girl. They have to appear with Krishna on what's called his roadshow in the material world, someplace where Krishna is appearing in the material world, and they'll have a material body, but they'll be a gopi or a gopa, and they're being trained for their spiritual life, their life in the spiritual world. But somebody who simply knows this, the transcendental nature of the appearance and activities of Lord Gaura's close associates, Panchatattva, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Murari Gupta, Swarup Damodar, his close associates, that they're Nitya Siddha, they're always liberated. They were never forced to come here. They came here with the Lord. They're going straight back with them. And in the process, they come into the spiritual world, Krishna Loka, with Krishna Prema. You can get your training there, how to make flower garlands for Radharani, how to wrestle with Sri Dham, with the cowherd boys. And the ecstasy of just friendship with Krishna is far greater than any ecstasy, including from the best possible sex life in the world, in the material world. It's a step beyond that. As you experience little bits, little tastes of bhava, a spiritual shadow ecstasy, as a materially conditioned devotee, you'll begin to understand that love of Krishna in whatever role, as a friend, as a son, as a father, or as a lover, they're a step beyond, way beyond what you can even expect from the sex life that drives this world, way beyond it. And let's see, and you don't need any training. They'll just train you up. Hey, let's say you're a gopi. They'll say, hey, you want to brush Radha's hair? Let us show you how. And what you're doing is fainting in ecstasy all the time there. It comes and goes in waves. There's crying, there's laughing, there's babbling, there's talking to trees. All these things cause you rolling on the ground. And when two people meet, if they haven't seen each other for 2 days, they faint from ecstasy, from loving ecstasy. And that's not even Krishna. They're just Krishna's friends. It's a continuous waves and waves of love. And the love there is selfless. That's one of the primary ingredients of going to Krishna Loka is you're not motivated to have a life in a bowl of peaches and be free from be free from Vaikuntha and be free from the material world and suffering, so you can go worship God, worship God. Let's go to God's house and worship Him. Let's offer Him things. He'll give us a bowl of peaches, and it'll be all wonderful. Krishna, that's Krishna's office work. That's Krishna at the office. He has 4 arms, and he blesses everybody every day. But at home, the playground of God, Krishna, Vrindavan, at home, he wrestles with his friends, with his sons, and he doesn't have any sons. He wrestles with Radharani. He wrestles with Subal, Sridham, and he and Sudam and Shribal, they defeat demons. They do it in the spiritual world because there's challenges, there's excitement, and the love even as servant is fantastic, way beyond the spiritual world. Parthadas, I see Parthadas' name here. Is there a question by Parthadas? Okay, I hope I satisfied Gita's question.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Very, very interesting and illuminating. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. It's a good question. Very good question. Okay, are there any other questions?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving the wonderful class. And it came to you like a last minute, but naturally you spoke and enlightened us. And thank you for the seva, and without the speakers, it's very difficult for us to continue here. We get all worked up what to do. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, thank you. And I don't have a question specifically, but if anybody has any question, comments, otherwise we can end the call.
Okay,
One question I can ask Prabhuji, because some of us are traveling.
Oh.
Like we're hearing Bhagavatam and then we're reading and everything, right? But then once it comes to a time when we have to travel and you have other duties towards family and other things are there, responsibilities are there. So that time, the best, we have to like transition to a new phase, right? Like just like you're in Mayapur, maybe you have to go to Vrindavan or some other place. So then, and you're used to certain routine at home, hearing, chanting, doing the puja and all that stuff, like, in the morning or whatever. But when you transit, then I know that I'm just answering my own question, that chanting, of course, is something which has to stick with us all the time. The holy name is there with us. But the other things become a little bit lesser. So what was your recommendation? Like we should always carry the Bhagavad Gita with us, do the reading, and as much as possible when we are not able to have association virtually or other ways. I just wanted to ask you that.
Oh, well, you mean like when you're isolated by travel?
Yeah, travel, and sometimes we're not able to connect virtually through classes and other things. What is the other thing than reading and chanting? Like two things I know, of course, we should always carry Bhagavad Gita with us, as Vaisheshika Maharaj always says, that a small Bhagavad Gita should always be there, where anytime at the airport, anywhere you read. Other than reading and chanting, I mean, is there anything else which we can make connections so we are still doing bhakti and devotion to Krishna, like that?
If somebody starts up a conversation with you, a stranger, always make sure that they hear some kind of holy name. There's one thing you're actually doing Sankirtan by. I used to tell people that when I leave here, I'm going to be living in Mayapur, and I always make sure that they hear a holy name like Mayapur. And they may be materially oriented people. So I would say I'm with a food distribution organization called Krishna Consciousness, and they heard Krishna. So you're starting. So in other words, you can even preach to somebody just by getting them to hear have any pretext, get them to hear the holy name. So that's a third thing you can do. You can always chant extra rounds. Krishna is actually following you around when he hears Radharani's name, and she'll follow you around when she hears you chanting Krishna's name, if you're paying attention to it. So there's nothing wrong with chanting extra rounds. And one Mataji, she would, whenever she got a break, she would get out of the house. She went once to a football stadium. And she asked the people in the announcement booth to say, could you call my son? I need to find him, and we need to go home. I was wondering if you could call him to the booth up here, to the announcement booth. And they said, oh, sure. What's his name? And then she said, Gauranga. And then and then she told him, if you chant his name, and if you say his name 3 times, then he knows it's time to go. He'll come up. And also, if you tell people to raise their hands in the air when they're saying Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga 3 times, then he's gonna know he's in trouble if he doesn't get up here. And so she had the whole stadium hands in the air, chanting Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga. So she was very creative at she would go into a Walmart and she would have something like that happen. And I would just go by a homeless camp and I would just shout, Keshava, Keshava Krishna, roll down my window and make sure, but I never thought of anything like what she thought of. That is just fantastic. So there's also the preaching dimension. If people around you, if they start up talking or if you have an excuse, or you can just tell them your name is Krishna. Hi, my name is Krishna. I was wondering if it, just whatever, just make sure people hear the holy name from you whenever you see a stranger. So that's a third dimension. There's always japa, there's always reading, or extra japa, because you actually, as long as you're paying attention, Krishna is right there and Radharani. Because they're controlled by those who chant their holy name. They're controlled by the ecstasy of hearing the others, hearing the other's name. Hara is actually a name for Radharani, and Hare is the evocative sense of that word. So there's always that. There's those three things actually you can do when in isolation. Is that anything
Yes,
else on
Prabhuji.
that?
Thank you so much. That reminded me when I went to New York. So there were multiple people in the trains, like in the month of August, I had gone there. So I just wanted to travel in the subway and go to places here and there. Went and saw Prabhupada's tree and the place, the Matchless Gift. And then back and forth, we were like moving, around just in the trains. And I remember there were a group of people and also multicultural people in New York, And so I just I just started a conversation that, the Hare Krishna, and everybody was like, there were so many people who knew about the Hare Krishna. It was amazing. You know, they talk about the Beatles, they talk about like so many things they talked about. Oh yes, they have this thing, they do singing, and it's very
Wow.
nice. And like they're all over distributing books on the red lights. So I was amazed, and the whole conversation started in that cabin. And then I said, of course
Wow.
they do chanting, and then I showed my bead bag that has the mantra. So yeah,
Nice.
it's so wonderful about the Mataji that you said. Although I'm sure she doesn't have a son called Goranga, but then she,
Yeah.
devotees come up with these wonderful things. And just to share the name of Goranga, and it's very easy for the American people also to pronounce this name. Like sometimes
Yeah.
you say Krishna, Rama, Radha. Radha also they say very nicely. Then they know, oh, you're talking about the Hindu god. They consider them as one of the gods in the, amongst the demigods. That's what they consider. Because even American people, they say, oh, Krishna, yeah, just like, but don't you have many more gods? But when you say Goranga, that's another whole story,
Yeah.
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 Thank you so much for sharing this. You have any other story, Prabhuji, to share other than this? This is so
Oh,
nice.
well,
Yeah.
uh, um, well, there's actually a lot of stories, but I would again be
Okay.
going into something. Oh, I would, in any crowd, anytime I got in the habit, anytime I was in a crowd, I would just chant. Um, People, sometimes, or I'm used to back in the old days in America, I'm used to, people having a negative response because they're heavy Christians or something, to the name Krishna. So if I was walking through an airport or in a bus terminal or something like that, or in a big store, I would just shout, Keshava, over here, Keshava, like that. I did that, a name they don't recognize. So everybody's saying, well, interesting name. Okay, and they've heard the holy name. And as far as a mantra, the power of a mantra is concerned, we may hear that there's no potency in any kind of mantra that isn't given to you by a guru. But the entire world has Prabhupada's permission to chant name Krishna's names, holy names. In fact, he once said, just chanting George Harrison's name, the word Hari is in the name Harrison, is very purifying, and everyone should chant his name too, even if they don't know the benefit. So in other words, the whole world has Prabhupada's permission for the potency of the holy name to work. And Krishna knows better than anyone that that's Prabhupada's desire is to is to change the whole world, and he did that. Now, as far as Prabhupada is concerned, I'm convinced that he is in the heart, he is with Supersoul anywhere that and everywhere that Supersoul is with an ISKCON devotee, and he's waiting for them to call on him. Now, as a founder acharya of a religion, there was a study done in Harvard about 10 years ago. The way they define religion, I don't know how it was, but they looked at the world's 2,000 biggest religions, and ISKCON is the 25th largest religion in the world. So that's a pretty big branch on Lord Chaitanya's tree of devotion. That's a pretty big branch. And Prabhupada started that. And let's see, what was I saying? It was, okay, I lost my train of thought there. But, well, yeah, the potency of the holy name is, it's already there. The permission for it to be potent is already there. And Super Soul does what Prabhupada wants when it comes to ISKCON devotees. And, oh yeah, he's a previous acharya. Prabhupada always told us to call on previous acharyas for help in our obstacles of our devotional service. He has to be a previous acharya. If he's the founder acharya, he's also a previous acharya. Why not call on him? And that's what he wants ISKCON devotees to do. He's not just in his books. He is the Vani. He is the instruction, and you're associating with him and following his books, his instruction. But you can also associate with him on your altar, or as you're walking, on the street, in your heart. You can pray. There's a physics professor told me once that a priest, no, a congregational member came up to a priest in a church and said, "Father, is it okay if I smoke while I'm praying?" And Father said, "Good heavens, no." And later on, he came up to the same priest and said, "Father, is it okay if I pray while I'm smoking?" And the father said, "Yes, you should be praying you should be praying all the time." So you see that the intention, what you're doing, that's fully dovetailable in Krishna consciousness. So that's another thing to repeat, to keep in mind too. What are you doing? Why do I think of my best prayers when I'm doing something else? It's okay to pray that way. Prabhupada gave us permission for that mantra to work, and he wants us to call on him too, not just rely on the books, although that's the best thing. That's what he wants us to do, but we can rely on him directly too. Okay, so I'm holding everybody up here. So unless there's any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and cut everybody loose. And I'm thanking you all for giving me an opportunity to share my time with you too. I'm doing that too. I thank you all.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the answer. And I just wanted to add one line. Like yesterday, I heard Srila Prabhupada's lecture in which he mentions that the story of Ajamil, and he says the only thing that saved him was the name of Narayan kept for his younger son. And he's to keep on calling him without even acknowledging he's calling Krishna. He thinks he's calling his son. And so nicely Prabhupada has shared, like this katha of Ajamil, where he is, like calling his name, and then he got the Sukruti. And in the end, what happened, because of the son and the name, otherwise the kind of activities he had done, there was no way he would be saved, because even if he was coming from Brahmanical background or whatever it is, but, so powerfully Prabhupada said this. And I remembered this because the way you mentioned about Keshava and how that Mataji said. So yesterday also I heard. So I just wanted to add, for others' benefit and my own purification, that how we should somehow have others, say the name of Krishna and say the Mahamantra, and that will help us in a spiritual life. And sharing will make Srila Prabhupada happy. Just like you said, this call will make Prabhupada happy, but individually we have responsibility towards Srila Prabhupada by making him happy through the preaching process. So thank you once again, Prabhuji. And anybody last minute comment, question? Otherwise, we can end the call right away.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all Krishna Prabhupada. Thank you for this wonderful class and nectarian words, and sharing also about the realizations in the rasas. I have a question regarding the karmic reactions in life, because in this verse talks about the karma kanda activities. Now we have a sanchita karma in our lives, and we suffer and enjoy due to that. And Narada Muni, Prahlad Maharaj also says earlier that Sukham Vaindrakam Dakta Deho Yogana Dehonam Sarvatra Labhati Daivat Yatha Dukkham Ayatana, meaning that the sukh, that the the happiness or rather the enjoyment from the material objects will be coming as part of the sanchita karma, and just as the without asking for it, just like just how the distresses also come. So my point is at two levels. One is at the karmi level. Somebody is a karmi, so he has a bunch of sanchita karma. So this life he can just, without work he can, he because we know that sanchita karma is a kind of more than 90%. So he need not work, and he may just whatever sanchita karma he has, he can enjoy. And
Well-
so that's the second. That is one part. That is so that is explores the one part of the question. I mean, one aspect of the same question of why to work, and the second is if in a devotee also same. If Krishna says Maya in chapter 12, Mayeva Mamana Athasva, my buddhim nivashasya Mayeva Atha Urdham Samsaya. So he says always immerse in your mind in my thoughts. So the both at the karmi and the bhakta level, there seems to be no need to work. So why do you work?
Oh, well, if you Krishna doesn't allow you to even get, in other words, the deer does not enter the mouth of the sleeping lion. You see what that means? The lion still has to perform its work to get the deer. A lion may be allotted so many deer in its life, but it can't. But the deer will not enter the mouth of the sleeping lion. So you still have to work.
My point is, I do not work for getting miseries, but I am getting miseries. So why shouldn't I get the happiness without working?
Oh, well, the only way, if you're dealing with more misery than happiness, this is the only way in this age to overcome it. You can go to therapists for the rest of your life. You can go to, you can play the lottery for the rest of your life. You're not going to improve your situation. Except that there's only one exception that overrides your karma, and that's Krishna. And in our age, in the age of Kali, that means Lord Gauranga. Once you sincerely take up this process, you've already done that. You're already now past the what Yamaraj would have given you for punishment, or what Indradev would have given you for heavenly stuff that keeps you in happiness, that keeps you entangled in the material world. Because it's all temporary, and temporary means it's just a dream state. It's just phantasmagoria. This whole, you're not really affected. The soul is transcendental to all of this. The soul cannot be cut by a sword, withered by wind, wet by water, etc. You are transcendental to the suffering, but it's hard for us to know that without, no therapist is going to be able to help you. No drug or doctors, medicines are going to be able to help you. You can, if you're dealing with more misery than happiness, try to transcend both. That's what Krishna.
No, I'm not asking about. I'm not asking about how to solve the problems of misery. But what I am asking is, I am getting misery without working for the misery. See, general people do not work for the misery, but the miseries come. So supposing he didn't particularly do anything to get a disease, but I mean, there may be this thing, but he may be attacked by a germ and he may get a disease, but he didn't.
Well, he
invite the germ with an invitation. So the germ came by itself, or while traveling as a co-passenger or in a bus, the bus meets with an accident. So for no fault of his, he is suffering misery. So like that, my point is, why shouldn't I get happiness also?
How do you know it's no fault of his? Do you know what he's done in his past life?
But
do you know?
No, that's correct. That's correct. He has a sanchita karma. That's why. That's what my point is. So why do I have to work in this life? I have my sanchita karma. based on that, I will suffer or enjoy. So why do you have to work?
Well,
And
if
there's
you
a karmi
don't,
level. That is one.
then
And-
you're back to the position of the lion that's asleep. It's not going to get us
yeah,
along.
that's a question about the lion also. Why does the lion have to work? Because he has Sanchita. Okay, so lion doesn't
That's how
apply.
Krishna
Doesn't
set
apply
up.
to the lion
See, no
because
matter
he
you
doesn't have
can be
Sanchita
Elon
karma.
Musk. You can be Elon Musk, but if you stop, it doesn't matter. What was I going to say about Elon Musk? The point is, he had to do things. In other words, birth, death, old age, and disease are guaranteed. For even Elon Musk, birth, death, old age, and disease are guaranteed. There are laws of nature that force you to work unless you're going to starve to death. So that's just basic. Now, we should all get going because there's, it's getting late. I have to get to things. But if you're going to have to do something, you cannot just do nothing. It's against the nature of the soul to be able to just do nothing. You do have an allotted amount of suffering based on your past life. And the only way you can get over it is by doing something transcendental that causes you to transcend both happiness and distress, finding happiness within. Now I'm going to go ahead. I'm not sure if that answered your question, but I have to.
Yes. I think that is very nice. The nice philosophy that you have shown light on.
I wanted to add one
Goal
thing,
is-
like, Prabhuji, Partha Prabhuji, like every day in the morning, there are a bunch of white birds that come. Some of the weather is very pleasant now. After Kartik month, Krishna has given us a pleasant weather, still continuing here. So these bunch of birds, there are different patches of grasses. So they every time land into a different patch of grasses and start eating. So how do these bird come to know that we have to go to this patch of land and or grass and start eating? And then when you watch them, they take out big snails from there. So it's amazing. Sometimes I think that they have more intelligence than me, because if I was a bird, if I'm a human being, I have to go and work hard, and Krishna helps us in everything. But you have to depend on the husband or do some job or something or the other. But these birds are so intelligent that they come and they every time they're a different patch of land, and then they're eating there. And you just watch them. It's Krishna's providing everything basically. So we have to
Mataji, Prabhuji is saying he has to go.
yeah. So just I wanted to mention that my observation in the
Okay.
morning walk. But thank you so much, Gokul Prabhuji, and rest question thoughts for the next tomorrow. Everybody please join for the Bhagavatam class. Vancha kalpatrubhascha kripa sindhu
Sadhguru Namo Namah. Anant Koti Vaishnav ki jai.
Jai.
Thakur ki
Jai.
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 Madhu ki jai.
Jai.
Gokul Prabhu ji ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you
So
so
nice
much,
to hear
Prabhuji.
your voice, Mataji, after a long time.
Yes, Mataji.
Sorry, Rupini Mataji, I just thought before he
No.
gets angry,
We have to catch each other. We get flown away, Mataji.
No, but you're so passionate about the topic. It's beautiful. Yeah.
I observe nature, and then I place it like Krishna is there, and I want to see what is going on today morning for my walk time. What are these birds doing? What are these? They're all living entities, and it's amazing how Krishna is feeding everyone, and they have so much of intelligence. I'm amazed that they go there. Early morning they come and they take out these worms. Now that's not a very good thing to see, but then they don't get karma for it. That's their food.
Right.
So, but Krishna is feeding them. Krishna is giving them intelligence. Go to this patch today. Go to this patch today. Similarly, he's giving us also intelligence. Okay, today you do this. So
So Savita Mataji, you tell us, did you go to any Buddhist temples there?
Yes, Thailand mein na Mataji. Yes, we went Buddhist temple. 2-3 Gautam Buddha.
Nice.
Emerald Buddha and
Mataji, would you like to share some realizations of India trip? I mean, both material, spiritual, both, Mataji, both. How was everything?
Yes,
Your
yes,
family? How was? Can you?
Yeah, everything very good. सबको बहुत अच्छा लगा. एक्चुअली हम लोग दिवाली के टाइम गए थे, तो मैं तो बहुत पहले गई थी 26 को. तो मम्मी का एंजियोप्लास्टी किया पूना में रूबी हॉस्पिटल में. So it went very well with Krishna's mercy.
Okay.
Very nice.
I was with her. And उसके बाद तो हम लोग फिर वसई में आए. फिर वहाँ पे गोवर्धनी को विलेज गए, तो वहाँ पे भी बहुत अच्छा लगा. it was a replica of Vrindavan made by Radhanath Swami project. एंड सब जगह पे दिए लगाए थे, दामोदर अष्टकम किया वहां पे यमुना घाट पे. तो इट
Where
वाज
is this, Mataji?
it's near Mumbai, Wada. So you
Acha.
can take buses from Chowpatty temple. But we were staying in Vasai, right? So our flat है वहां पे. तो हम लोग तो पर्सनल कार करके गए थे.
Uh-huh.
तो
So you
बहुत
must have met Radhanath Swami ji
नहीं
quite
ना
often.
महाराज तब यात्रा गए थे ना, मायापुर यात्रा गए थे महाराज.
हाँ, अच्छा अच्छा.
तो महाराज से मिलना नहीं हुआ, लेकिन वहाँ पे दूसरे मतलब डिवोटीज थे टेम्पल के, तो वहाँ पे उनके साथ एसोसिएशन हुआ, प्रसादम हुआ. तो
Nice.
इट वाज अमेजिंग. एंड देन फिर हम लोग पुणे आए. फिर भाई दूज के लिए सब सिस्टर्स और भाई सब लोग मिलके रिसोर्ट पे गए थे. तो इट वाज अ प्रेशियस टाइम वी स्पेंट मटेरियली.
Very nice.
और वहाँ पे भी सबने दामोदर अष्टकम किया रूम में. तो हम लोग दिया और वो दामोदर का लेके गए थे. तो
हाँ.
वहाँ पे सब किया, सिंगिंग किया, दामोदर अष्टकम सिंगिंग. फिर मैं और सम्राज्ञी थाईलैंड गए थे. सो थाईलैंड वाज सो ब्यूटीफुल. ओ माय गॉड, सो बहुत ही सुंदर था वो. और स्पेशली वहाँ पे बुद्धिस्ट कंट्री है, तो दे रिस्पेक्ट वेजिटेरियन एंड फूड एंड वेजिटेरियन पीपल. And as a Buddhist, they also don't eat onion and garlic. So it was very easy for us to tell all hotels like. तो हम लोग ने, और वहाँ पे टेम्पल भी था.
हाँ.
में भी प्रसाद लिया हमने 1-2 दिन. लेकिन होटल में भी, रेस्टोरेंट में बताते थे तो दे मेक फूड लाइक अस. और और क्या, हाँ, और सरप्राइजिंगली एक जगह इस्कॉन का टेम्पल भी मिला हमको फुकेट में. सो वी वर ट्रैवलिंग फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर एंड आई सॉ द बोर्ड. एंड हम लोग गए तो इवनिंग टाइम था, तो वहाँ पे दामोदर अष्टकम भी मिला. तो
हाँ, वहाँ बहुत इंडियंस हैं थाईलैंड में.
that was Krishna's causeless mercy that he wants us to see in Phuket also.
Beautiful. Nice.
या उसके बाद तो फुकेट के बीचेस तो बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल है. जो ऋतिक रोशन का मूवी है ना, कहो ना प्यार है,
हाँ.
तो उसका शूटिंग वहाँ पे हुआ था. तो वो बीचेस भी बहुत ब्यूटीफुल थे. और वाटर स्नॉर्कलिंग किया हमने, बहुत सारे फिशेस
अच्छा.
देखे अंदर जाके. इट वाज सो ब्यूटीफुल.
Nice.
इट वाज फर्स्ट एक्सपीरियंस. तो
Very-
एंड देन वी अगेन कम टू मुंबई. एंड मुंबई में ही राधा गोपीनाथ टेम्पल जो राधानाथ स्वामी मैनेज करते हैं, तो वहाँ पे भी गए हम दर्शन के लिए बिफोर गोइंग टू एयरपोर्ट. तो it was night darshan, so I will share the pictures on our everyday chant group. So it was so beautiful, the darshan was so stunning. And जैसे जैसे हम अल्टर के पास जा रहे, एक अलग सी खुशबू, मोगरा फ्लावर, जैस्मिन फ्लावर की खुशबू
हाँ, इंडिया में तो ये बहुत
हो
है
रही
ना.
थी.
अच्छा.
या सो दैट वाज एकदम वंडरफुल रहा ट्रिप. थोड़ा हेक्टिक रहा, बहुत ट्रैवलिंग हुआ, बट इट वाज, लेकिन गर्मी बहुत थी, अक्टूबर हीट था. तो वो मुझे पूना में इतना नहीं लगा गर्मी, लेकिन बॉम्बे में तो बहुत ह्यूमिड था. बट ओवरऑल बहुत अच्छा है, मजा आया.
Good. So Rupini Mataji, you're going at a good time. Weather will be good.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, yeah, pollution is very bad. But
Yeah, pollution. I've been told to wear masks there, so let's see. You know, there's always some discrepancies always there. Some problems will always be there.
right.
That's true.
So wish you safe travels, Mataji. And then
Yeah, thank you,
Yes, माता जी, you wish you safe travel. और ज्वाइन करना आप भी वहां से सेटल हो जाओगे.
Yes, Mataji, I'll definitely, my trip will be there to Vrindavan for sure for 4-5 days. And right now I know that's shocked in my mind. I will not come back unless I go to Vrindavan, you know. And rest, I will, you know, like, I mean, I wanted to go to Mayapur and Jagannath Puri also, but then I will still postpone and, you know, go with both my daughters. I just thought like that because I feel very sad and I feel like crying when I go. Vrindavan is okay because 2 hours away, but the other trips, there are some devotees, you know, who have come here and they're there. They say, Mataji, we can arrange everything, but I don't know. I don't feel like going right now. I'll probably go with my daughter. Right now, she's not able to go. So next year.
So where do you stay, Mataji, in Vrindavan when you go?
Actually, I stayed in one ashram, Radha ashram, but then that was not the perfect place. So then I thought this time I will go to MVT only because going for a short time, because where the MVT is located or the guest house of the main Krishna Balram temple. one of the two. I'll try to find accommodation.
Yeah, those are the best places, Mataji.
Those two places. Okay, then the Goshala is close by, you know. And then
टेम्पल के
top,
पास भी है वो, yeah.
yeah, paas mein hai. And
Mataji,
then,
Hare Krishna. I would recommend you to, go to the ashrams where they provide breakfast in the morning. So once you wake up, take your shower, and then before starting anywhere, you get a hot breakfast. So, then you don't have to struggle for the prasadam the whole day.
yes. And of course, Prabhuji, the Goshala is there. Goshala is serving at 9 o'clock. I still remember the timings. And then lunch they're serving. Even evening this thing they do. I don't know about the dinner, but yeah, so morning, evening. And then there is also Govinda there. So whenever you're hungry, you come back and there's no dinner anywhere. You just have at the Govindas, which is very nice.
Yeah.
So I think I've never had problem with prasadam in this place. And then of course, so lovingly Annapurna Mataji, she says, I'm going to cook extra. You better come. I'm having extra. We have to eat for 2 days.
Where is this, Mataji?
No, my friend is there, Annapurna Mataji. She stays there.
Where you are planning to stay?
I will either MVT, Mataji, I don't know, MVT, right? Or above the guest house of the Krishna Balaram temple.
Okay.
Wherever I can get accommodation. I'll start finding out by the end of January, because I don't want to go in the Thand. I'll go in February. February time I will go, and then maybe I can spend a week or 5 days like that. I'll see,
Yes.
Yeah, so
गीता माता जी वेबसाइट है अपना इस्कॉन टेम्पल का,
हाँ जी,
तो वृंदावन का, तो आप वहाँ पे देख सकते हो.
हाँ ठीक है. हम तो एक बार गए थे, तो आगरा में रहे थे. इट्स नॉट फार फ्रॉम देयर. दे हैड वेरी गुड होटल्स, बट या एक बार इस्कॉन में भी रहे थे. आई वाज मतलब फूड वाइज इस्कॉन में रहना बहुत अच्छा है. देयर कैंटीन इज गुड, बट द I wasn't very pleased with the accommodation,
या थोड़ा ये यात्रा प्लेसेस में थोड़ा सा ऊपर नीचे होता है.
हाँ.
But MVT is very good, Mataji, because वहाँ पर सब हम लोग की तरह लोग हैं.
फॉरेनर्स के लिए.
यूएसए से, यूएसए से है. अभी पीछे मैंने एक वीडियो देखा था फेसबुक पे. Madhava was there during the Kartik Mass, and he was sitting in the garden in the middle. And also, Mataji, there is on the top floor some place where Shraddhanjali Mataji told me, and actually they left today. So I might meet her. I don't know, they left today and they'll be coming back in 1 month. So they've taken their daughter. All 3 of them have gone. Prabhuji will come back. They'll stay back.
So is it called MVT?
MVT on top, there is a restaurant in MVT, which Mataji told me, I mean, it is so delicious, prasadam. So I said, do we have to pay? Is it for the staying? You have to pay separate for that. So they have a buffet system on top somewhere. I don't know where. I'll find out. And she says, me and our temple president's wife, she said, me and Gopisha, we eat there only. So, I'll definitely go and visit that place and, like to take prasadam. Prabhuji reminded me about prasadam. Yeah, just recollecting where all I have to go. So, and food is the best part, Mataji, in India, right? I mean, so good.
Yeah.
Mataji,
I'm just texting you a few good ashrams there where you can stay very close by to the temple. I will text you to WhatsApp, so you
Sure. And also to Geeta Mataji too, I think, because she's in the...
Yeah, I'm going in January. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
you, Prabhuji.
I remember when we went to a small incident, we went to the Sri Radha Parthasati temple. So we obviously, everyone loves sweets, right? So we tried these to get some every Sunday we would get some laddu or something. So, I never realized in the end when we were leaving, and we were also so stuffed up and all. So my younger daughter told me that, we ate everything, Mama, but we didn't have the rasgulla. Rasgulla, they have the rosemary flavor. So I said, we have to leave something for next time. And, we have to leave something for next time. So, it's literally like this, it's so good, the food in all India. We put on weight also, of course, but yeah. Sweets.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for I saw you sent it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So we'll see everybody again tomorrow on the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Have a safe
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes. I'm traveling with my mother and my daughter. So, we have made arrangements with wheelchair and everything. And luckily, we're going from here because we've had a very, since couple of years, we've been going 16 hours. So now we're taking a break at the London Heathrow. So we are taking like after 8 hours, we are stopping in the middle, 4-5 hours, like taking prasadam from home and all, because there's no even Jain food facility also from here to there. But then from London to there, we have facility Jain food. We take little bit, offer and have that because it doesn't have onion, garlic, just sometimes, time plus circumstances. But yeah, I'm taking from home like prasadam also. So
Yes, yes. Mataji, stopping from Heathrow, like Europe tour is very good decision because हम लोग ने सऊदी अरेबिया में लिया था 2 घंटे के बाद 2.5 घंटे के बाद आया फिर 14 hours. It was too much tiring.
We had Abu Dhabi to India to Abu Dhabi and Abu Dhabi to DC, but it is very hectic. 14 hours flight, so if you break it 8 hours, it will give you some relief. Yeah.
Yes. The same thing we went through with Air India and Emirates past 2 years. So this time it's Air France and I don't know, like I think United or like American Airlines. But then we're taking a break in the middle and then 4-5 hours break. So one can walk around and freshen up and I wish they could have centers where we can take a bath, but it's not that. But yeah. Yes. So once we reach there, then another story starts. But I'll try to join. The main thing is please pray for me that I can join the class. I'm going to put alarms, so at least I'm connected to you all. Otherwise, the only source then is like going to I do connect to Radhika Kripa Mataji for the chanting. I do connect with her in the morning. She has a session goes on from like 5 to 6 for sure. 5 to 6, and then they do the everything virtually, like Tulsi Aarti and all that they do. So I just put that on there in India when I get up in the morning. But otherwise, there and then Bhagavatam, I wanted to join here. So I will continue with that. I'll try my best, unless because I have to also go to Mysore. We have to sell one plot of land there. So I'll be going to Bangalore. So there's one devotee who was in Orlando. He's gone back because of his parents. So Suresh Prabhu. So I'll be going there. From there, it's a 2 hours drive. So I'm looking forward to actually go to South. And I think one Mataji was saying that in Bangalore, I'll try to make connection with Amrita Madhvi Mataji. I know she's there. If it's possible and she's free. So this will be sometime in the middle of January. So I have another trip within this trip going to South also, Mataji.
That's nice.
Yeah. So like we have to, because our mother will, we have to take care of few things there and, like that. Yes, Mataji. So, and Mataji, I will also share the November, December speaker thing, the things with you.
All the best, Mataji, आपको.
And I will take with me also that thing.
Yeah, happy journey.
Thank you, Mataji, and welcome back. And so nice to have you here. And,
Yeah, वैसे तो कल मिलेंगे हम लोग call पे again.
Yes, Mataji. And if need be, then I will text you or call you. Okay,
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.